Hello Internet, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I decided I wanted to make a video to talk about some of the self-care things that I do to cope with the all-consuming dread of existence. I am not a mental health professional, but I do have a helper background, meaning I'm trained as a counselor, and I used to teach social and emotional skills to elementary school students. And those techniques I'm currently relearning as a grown person and applying to my life, and I just think it's good stuff to share because being a person can be really hard. And if you don't take care of yourself, who's gonna take care of you? I want to share 5 things that I do as self-care. They may or may not work for you, but something to think about in case you need some self-care tips. Self-care tip number 1, I am a strong proponent of exercise. I'm laughing because I actually hate working out. My shoulders hurt. I did burpees yesterday. Don't do burpees. I also did squat presses. Everything hurts. Working out is stupid and I don't want to do it. But that shit works. My personal exercise of choice is running. That endorphin shit that people tell you about, the runner's high, it's real and it feels great. I highly recommend, but it doesn't even have to be that. Sometimes just taking a walk is very helpful. I like to do gratitude walks where you just kind of take walks and think of things that you're grateful for. I also will like dance around in my apartment, pretty much anything to get you moving, whether it's a walk, whether you're running, biking, swimming, hiking, dancing in a chair, whatever it is, getting your heart rate up, it does actually elevate your mood. Self-care tip number 2, I like to meditate. I love guided meditations because they help ground me and center me and bring my brain back to wherever it needs to be. Some of the apps that I use, I was introduced to Insight Timer, which has a bunch of guided meditations from like 2 minutes to like hours if you're into that. And then recently I was introduced to Breathe, Stop, Think, which is cool because it asks you how you're feeling. So you pick a series of, I think it's up to 5 different emotions, submit that to the app, and then it recommends 3 different guided meditations for you to do based on your emotions. I really love it. It has helped calm me down so much, and there's lots of research on the benefits of meditation. If you don't believe it and think it's just some hippy dippy shit, it's not. Self-care tip number 3, kind of along the lines of meditating, I really like to use adult coloring books. I hate the name of them. I really love the ones by Lacey Mucklow, illustrated by Angela Porter. So this is one of them, Color Me Happy. I haven't colored any of them, but I have been using this one, Color Me Calm. So this is what I was doing in therapy today, and I also did this one. It's just something to do to help me manage my emotions if I'm feeling very stressed out or upset or angry and I have endless thoughts running through my head. Sometimes it's hard for me to jump straight into like a guided meditation or like breathing exercises. So I'll start with turning on a comedy show and then listening to that while I color. Self-care tip number 4 is finding a support system. I really believe in having strong relationships to help you get through tough stuff, whether that's a friend, a family member, or a professional. Finding people that you love and trust, if it's a personal relationship, or a very good therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, can be very helpful. I was at one point going to a community counseling center which had sliding scale fees, so that's something to look out for if you're not insured. And my final tip, self-care tip number 5, is be kind to yourself. We have so many thoughts that flit through our minds every day. Some of them need to be nice. I think so many negative things about everything, and it certainly affects the way that I feel and the way that I act. Sometimes I really just have to step back and be nice to myself. Something that I hear a lot from therapists is, would you talk to your friends like that? They say that to me all the time. A recent example, on Saturday, could not get out of bed. I just couldn't. I did not feel like doing anything, so I stayed in bed and I just kept thinking like, you're lazy, you're an awful person, you're a terrible friend, you're a terrible daughter, you're just terrible, all because I couldn't get out of bed. And I was relaying this to my therapist yesterday and she was like, would you tell your friend that they're lazy? And my response was, that depends on who the friend is and whether or not I actually think they're lazy. And she's like, okay, if your friend was going through something very emotional and traumatic and they couldn't get out of bed, would you tell them that they're lazy? And I was like, no, absolutely not. They're not lazy. They're just going through a hard time. And so it's difficult for them to get out of bed and to do things more than it would be normally. And she was like, exactly. So it was just kind of a lesson in being nicer to myself. It does feel good to hear good things from other people, but I think it feels so much better to hear good things from yourself. So those are 5 things that I do to help take care of myself. Exercise. I forgot what they were. What are they? Exercise, meditation, coloring, a support group, and being kind to myself. I hope this helped somebody somewhere. And if not, oh well, it helped me. That's somebody somewhere. I hope you have a great day. I love your faces, and I will see you guys later. In psychology, my bachelor's degree in blah 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 blah. Why is it so hard to say words?